Greetings, historians, and welcome back to House of Ideas Historian. Last week, I put up my very first top 5 video, and overall, it seemed that you liked it. So I'm going to put out one of these pretty regularly. For this next pick, I went straight from the comments and pulled out one that I think you're going to like. So, here's my top 5 favorite Marvel heroes of all time. Carol Danvers has a long history that dates all the way back to the late 60s. We saw her first appearance in March 1968 in Marvel Superheroes number 13. In that time, she's gone by a few different names in her superhero career: Miss Marvel, Binary, Warbird, and most recently, Captain Marvel. A prominent member of the Avengers, the Guardians of the Galaxy, and the Alpha Flight space program, Carol has quite the resume. I have read many of her stories in my time in reading the Avengers. When she took over the title as Captain Marvel, I decided that I would pick up her lines as well. I really enjoy her character, and her connection to the Air Force is rather meaningful to me, personally. Though, I would have to disagree with her choices in Civil War II. Flash is another character that has been around for quite some time. We see his very first appearance in the iconic Amazing Fantasy number 15. Here, he was the high school bully of Peter Parker. After high school, Flash joined the army until he was discharged with the loss of his legs. After the events of the Siege of Asgard, the government got their hands on the Venom symbiote. Flash was chosen as the host of the symbiote. Thus, Agent Venom was born. I had read Venom's stories in the past, but it was through Flash that my love of Venom really blossomed. To this day, Flash is one of the most unique Venoms that we have seen. Using the symbiote's ability to change form, Flash was either the perfect undercover agent or a one-man army. There were some growing pains at first, but Flash and Venom bonded very well. Flash went on to be an Avenger, a Thunderbolt, and a Guardian of the Galaxy. As you may recall, I even went as far as to cosplay as Venom in the past. Rolk. I loved reading this character. I'm sure you've all heard this, but the angrier the Hulk gets, the stronger he is. Well, this isn't entirely true for the Red Hulk. In this case, it's a lot closer to the angrier he gets, the hotter he is. And no, I don't mean that he gets more attractive. I mean actual heat. He would melt city blocks when he fought. There's a lot that I could go into about Rolk, but let's start with some of the basics. Red Hulk was introduced in January of 2008 in the second volume of Hulk, issue number 1. But it wouldn't be for 2 years till we actually learned his true identity. Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross, the longtime adversary of the Hulk. What made Red Hulk so dangerous wasn't just his amazing heat, but it was that he kept his brilliant mind while hulked out. Hulk also wasn't above using weapons either. Red Hulk went on to join the Avengers and then even lead a team of the Thunderbolts. We first met Wanda as a member of Magneto's Brotherhood of Evil Mutants in X-Men number 4 in 1964. She found her home with the Avengers in 1965, in Avengers number 16. With a history as rich as Wanda's, it's really hard for me to exactly pin down when I started to love this character. When we first met Wanda, she had a pretty undefined ability that they called hex power. Later, it morphed into chaos magics. It was right around the time when she started to train under Agatha Harkness that I really started to like this character. Under the tutelage of Harkness, Wanda developed her affinity to witchcraft. The late 80s, we saw a lot of change for Wanda. Her struggle with her reality warping powers, her marriage to the Vision, and then her divorce thereafter. The love triangle that formed between the Vision and Simon Williams, and then worst of all was the loss of her children. Looking back at everything that she went through, I understand her mental instability in the disassembled storyline and then the sequel, House of M. This one might be a little cliche right now. Everyone loves Tony, but it's for a good reason. Robert Downey Jr. just nailed this role. We see Tony for the first time in Tales of Suspense number 39. I got my start into comics shortly after Avengers was released in theaters in 2012, so I already went into comics liking Iron Man. Since then, I have read so much with this character. Whether it's the director of S.H.I.E.L.D., or the leader of the Avengers, or out in space with Guardians of Galaxy, I have read it and I have loved it. Pretty much every Iron Man title from 2008 forward, I have read. I just love this character. To date, my favorite Iron Man armor has to be the Bleeding Edge armor from the Heroic Age back in 2010. But I still have a soft spot for the Silver Centurion. And that's a wrap. I hope you liked it. I know a couple of those picks maybe not what you were thinking, but they're definitely the picks for me. But I want to know what you think. Let me know in the comments below. What do you think about my top 5? In fact, what are your top 5? I'd love to hear about it. I love talking about comic books. If you don't want to talk about it in the comments, you can always hit me up on Facebook or Instagram. The links to those are both in the description. You know, I love doing this, guys, so I hope you enjoy it as well. I hope you find value in it. For now, just do me a favor, hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell to make sure you get notified of all future content. And then share with your friends. And as always, true believers, Excelsior. Till next time.